Hello, Carla here at Crochet CJ in Oklahoma. Mom, midwife. I'm a born-again Christian and I love people enough to tell them that. Living here in glorious Oklahoma. Things are good. It's a beautiful day. This is take two because the first one, my phone is synced to my iPad, and when my phone rang, it made my camera shut off. And I just have a lot of trouble splicing things together and editing, and I just decided I would start all over. So we're going to start with finished objects. My first finished object is my lovely pine forest cowl from Hannah at Cozy Cottage. And I used the Uru by Knit Crate yarn in the gilded color that I received in November. It's 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 10% stellina, and there's 219 yards and 100 grams. Now I only did 3 repeats. I believe it calls for 5 on the pattern. I love the pattern. I love all of Hannah's patterns. Everything she has is so worth going and purchasing. The problem I found was I didn't have enough yarn to do more than 3 repeats. And I think I probably could have got at least one more repeat if I'd used a smaller hook. But for some reason, I thought I needed a little bit bigger hook. And frankly, I can't even tell you which size hook I used at this point because I was a really bad crocheter and didn't write that down like I should. My next finished object is this just messing around beanie. I had this Allure yarn, it's real fuzzy and stuff, and I just did like a basic brim, and then I did treble crochet around once, and then the rest of it's just double crochet. This yarn is hard to see because of the fuzz. It's hard to frog because of the fuzz. I got it at Tuesday morning. It's fine yarn and it's nice and fuzzy. But I had started out making a cowl with it and I didn't like the way it was looking. It was hard to see the stitches, so I tried to frog it. I ended up throwing away a little bit of the yarn because it just catches on itself too much. But anyway, that was just playing around. I don't know what I'll make because I have more of it because I bought a lot of it at Tuesday morning. And that yarn is 34% wool, 34% acrylic, 18% nylon, and 14% glitter. The color is Nero, and there was 109 yards and 50 grams. And anyway, so that was that. My next finished object is a OU beanie that I made for my friend's grandbaby. Don't make fun of my letters. That's just a chain with single crochet to make the letters. The pattern is the October Snowstorm Hat by Leah Addis, and it is a free pattern on Ravelry. I like it. It's just double crochet and double slip stitch. I'd never done double slip stitch before, but it tells you on the pattern how to do it, so that was really easy, and I actually like the way it works up. The thing I liked most about this pattern is it says gauge is not crucial. Y'all know I'm not a gauge swatch person. Anybody I'm testing patterns for, honestly, I will gauge before I do your pattern because that's what you request. And there are other projects where I've done gauge, but as a general rule, I don't do gauge. And it's just because I've not had any difficulties, and so I don't usually do it. Anyway, the yarn is Yarn Bee Sleek and Soft and Sleek, excuse me. It's 232 yards and 50 grams. It's a 4-weight. It's 100% low pill acrylic, and the colors I used were burgundy and ivory. Burgundy and ivory. Okay, so I got this much left of the burgundy, and I didn't use much of the ivory, and I have a lot of yarn barf. Come on, manufacturers. Yarn barf. Which, if I had used up this amount of yarn that's barfed out, it wouldn't be a big deal because then I'd have a nice neat little skein with the center pull already. But I've had so much yarn barf this week, it's so frustrating. I do not know why the colors are blasting in and out like that on this video. Really odd. My next finished project is a granny square baby blanket. And just like I'm calling it, it is a giant granny square. I moved the camera back a little so I could hold stuff up and you could see it a little better, but maybe I didn't move it back far enough. It's just a giant granny square. I didn't use anybody's pattern. I just started making a granny square and kept going around. It's made with burlap blanket stripes. I used 2 cakes. There's 220 yards and 300 grams. It's 100% polyester, and the color was Berry Basket. I had bought it on clearance at Joann's, so I'm going to say they've discontinued that color. And maybe they've, no, I think they still have the blanket stripes. Anyway, my fourth finished object is what I'm wearing. This is my Hermione Hat and Cow. Cowl. Okay. This is my own pattern. Woohoo! I'd actually contacted a couple of people who do patterns all the time just to be sure that I'm able to release a pattern, just because it's a really simple stitch pattern. So, and I know, you know, stitches aren't really patented or anything, and I'm going to offer the pattern for free, so I don't think it's a big deal anyway, but I wanted to make sure that there's not like some database or something that I can go to make sure I'm not infringing on somebody else's pattern. And I heard back from one of them, and she said, you're offering it for free. It's really not a big deal. And, you know, just as long as you know you didn't copy it from somebody else and you're offering it for free, then you're more than welcome to do that. So I have the pattern written. I have not published it. I will let you guys know when I do publish it. Again, it's going to be free. It's called the Hermione Hat and Cow. Yes, it's named after Hermione Granger on Harry Potter, because Harry Potter nerd. I made a pom for it out of fake fur, which I put a button on so that you can take that off. You can have it without the pom, or you can wash it and take the pom off. So I did that. I would wear the hat right now with the cowl. It's definitely a beanie. It fits really close. But this room where I film is really warm. It's like the warmest room in the house for some reason. I guess because it's a small room and the door's closed all the time, so the heat just stays in here. And so I just wore my mama hair don't care hat because it was too hot to be wearing a yarn made hat. Anyway, the yarn I used is Pheasant yarn, and it's called the Sugar Cake. And it's just color number 13897. There's no color name to it. This is what the cake looks like when you haven't disturbed it. I got that yarn at Tuesday morning. It's 80% acrylic, 20% wool. There's 200 grams and 400 yards. So there's a lot of yarn in there. I'd call it a 3-weight. They probably consider it a 4, so I guess maybe a light 4 or a 3.5. Can we say 3.5? The 3.257 weight yarn. Sorry, just being silly. Anyway, like I said, when I have that written out and ready to go, I'm assuming I can publish it on Ravelry relatively easily. I don't know. And I'm assuming they're going to check for plagiarism. I could be wrong. You know what happens. You should not assume anything. So, works in progress. Lori Lou's calling hers makes in progress, which I really like, but I'm wondering if I shouldn't call mine joys in progress, or jips. Jip doesn't sound like a good term, does it? But crochet makes me happy. It gives me joy, and so maybe I should call my projects joys in progress. I don't know. I don't know if that will catch on, because like I said, jip doesn't sound very nice. I only have one. It's my Orlaith robe sweater from Celtic Cable Crochet book, written by Bonnie Barker. Here's the book. And I'm going to find the sweater so you can see what the sweater looks like. Last time I showed you guys I had finished the back panel. This time I have finished the right front panel. So it is done. That's the right one. I still have to make the left one and the 2 sleeves, and then the center trim, which has the buttons and buttonholes on it. I got to make that. I kind of lost my Crojo for this project. I really was concerned that I wasn't going to get back to it very soon, and so that's how I ended up making the hat and cow, because I was like, oh, I really like this single crochet, double crochet stitching and the pattern that it gives you. I really like this pattern that it gives you. And so I thought, I'm gonna just write a pattern for a cowl. Well, then I finished the cowl and I still had some yarn left, so then I decided, oh, I think that I will make a hat too. I used that entire sugar cake, but like I said, there was 400 yards, and so I got this cowl and that hat out of that cake. So I thought that was pretty awesome. But after I did those, and I was really like almost afraid to start on cable again, which I don't know why. That back panel is huge. It's twice the size of the front panel. And I did it. It's a 2, once you finish the ribbing on the bottom, which is front post, back post, double crochet, and then when you get into the cable, it's a 2 row repeat all the way up to where you have to start decreasing. I don't know what, because once I get going on the pattern, I don't even have to look at it until I get to the decreases. So I don't know what it was. But I picked it up Monday night and started on it, and I got, you know, the ribbing done and a little bit up on the cabling. And then yesterday we only went to like Joann's so I could pick up some yarn for another project, and other than that I was home all day, and so I finished that panel. So I think I'm going to get it done by February 1st, which was kind of my goal, to get it done before it warms up too much for me to wear it. Who knows, in Oklahoma it may warm up tomorrow too much for me to wear it, but I do want to be able to wear it because it's so pretty. The yarn is Windy with Wool Aran yarn, and it's 400 grams, 875 yards. It's 20% wool, 80% acrylic. And it is from my precious dear sister from another mister in Ireland, Mary. She sent me 3 skeins of this so that I could make this sweater. She sent me the buttons to make the sweater with. So yes, I have yarn from Ireland to make my sweater, which is Celtic, and I'm half Irish, so I know my DNA doesn't say I'm half Irish, but my dad's family was Irish, so I always say half. And I know your DNA doesn't ever pan out that way because of watering down of genetics and stuff, and you don't always get the same contribution from parents. Yeah, little scientific knowledge there. More knowledge than you wanted about genetics on a crochet podcast. We'll move on. Acquisitions. I bought the yarn for the OU hat, the Soft and Sleek from Hobby Lobby, obviously. I bought yarn to make the alpaca amigurumi from Valerie at Old Sew Crochet, and it's Bernat blanket yarn. This is almond. This is vintage white, so that's what I'm making my alpaca with. You have to have some other, like some black and some other things, but you just small amounts, and it doesn't have to be the blanket yarn, so I just have those in my stash, in my leftovers, whatever. The Bernat blanket is 100% polyester, and there's 220 yards in 300 grams. The other yarn I bought was Caron Simply Soft Party yarn. There's 164 yards and 85 grams. It's 99% acrylic, 1% metallic. I got 4 of the black sparkle and 6 of the purple sparkle, and it's a number 4 medium. And I believe what I'm going to make with it is my plan is the Sanibel chevron shawl. Sparkles. I wanted to make something with some bling. Sanibel chevron shawl from Hannah. I know you guys are like, is that the only patterns you use are Hannah's patterns? No, but I do own all of her patterns. And I have made several, and I actually got to test one, which was so exciting. Love it, love it, love it. So there's a lot of stuff going around on Instagram and on YouTube about Black and Indigenous people of color and the treatment that they're receiving. I have an Instagram account, but I'm not really good with Instagram, so I haven't even been on there. I didn't really know until I started seeing some of the videos of my the crocheters that I follow. I'm not going to say a lot about it because whatever experiences I've had, I know do not compare. And we all have times when we're treated unkindly, you know, no matter what our skin color is or what our, you know, weight or physical attributes, you know, anything. People can treat you rudely or make fun of you or be mean to you. And I know my experiences don't compare, and I'm not going to compare them. And I'm not going to say a lot about it. Not because I'm ignoring the situation. I do not contribute to that rudeness and that unkindness. I believe that God made every one of us and we are all worthy of love. And I firmly believe that everyone you meet is worthy of respect until they prove themselves otherwise. And not that I'm saying you should disrespect them. I'm just saying that there are some people that you just don't need to continue to have contact with because they do not have anything but negativity and meanness and rudeness to contribute. And so why continue to expose yourself to that? I'll still love them and I'll still pray for them, but I don't want to continue to expose myself to that. So that's all I'm going to say about all that. And I hope that everyone just remembers that it's just so much easier to be kind and to be polite. Maybe that's because I was raised to be kind and polite. Maybe that's why it's easier for me. But that's that. I do have over 300 subscribers. So I had like 302 and then it dropped back to 299 and now I'm up to 310 as of this morning. I don't know if I've said something to upset somebody. Maybe people are upset because I have tattoos. I don't know. And it doesn't matter. Not trying to be rude, but it's just like Ella, No Catchy Name says, if I'm not your cup of tea, you don't have to watch me. I do this for fun. I do this to be out in the yarning community because I just love our yarning community. I love interacting with people in the yarning community. So anyway, 300 subscribers, we're doing a giveaway. There's going to be some crinklies. Okay. So there are 2 balls of this Allure, and Bruno is the colorway, but it's brown. It's got some sparkle in it. There's 2 of those. There are 4 of these. This is ice yarn. It's 50% wool, 50% acrylic, and it is a light 3 weight. As you can see, it is pretty light. But there are 4 of them, and there are, how many yards? Well, it says 300 meters and 100 grams, and I didn't convert it to yards. I'm the bad person. And then there are 2 skeins of blue and pink. Ice yarns, 100% cotton. And there are 2 cakes, whatever you want to call it, of this fettuccine t-shirt yarn. They're both the same colors. It's the same patterns. I know it seems like I'm just trying to get rid of these. I ordered a bunch of them when they were like $1 a cake from Lion Brand, and there's only so many things I can make with them, and I do have a lot of them, and so yeah, I'm giving them away. I will be completely honest with you. Rarely, unless it's a swap, do I actually go out and buy yarn. I usually pull from my stash because I have a huge stash of yarn. And it's not that I'm cheap, it's just that I have so much yarn, I don't mind giving some of it away. But occasionally I do go and buy something for it specifically, but I haven't been. I've just been pulling from my stash, and anyway, the last thing that's going to be in the giveaway is since I've already made my cow and my hat, it is a Pheasant sugar cake in this pretty blues. Like I said, there's 400 yards in this thing. I made a hat and a cow out of it without any problem. I will also enclose a copy of my pattern. You don't have to use that yarn for the pattern. You don't have to use the pattern. I'm just going to enclose it anyway. And then, of course, a set of stitch markers that I made. And because that blue reminds me of sand and sea, these are like little seashore ones. This one is a like beach chairs with an umbrella. This one is palm trees. There's a sand bucket. It even says sand on it. There's a pair of flip-flops. And there is a sand castle. Okay, so set of stitch markers. So what is that? 1, 2, there's 5 on there. So 5 stitch markers that I made are going to be included in this giveaway. Who knows if I'll throw something else in there. If I do, I'll let you guys know. But right now, that's what's going to be in the giveaway. I just am sitting in agreement with Rel and with Grace from GB Maltese that when you put giveaway in the title, it just encourages people who probably aren't regular subscribers to jump on there and subscribe just so that they can get in the giveaway. Maybe that's what happened with my up and down subscription numbers. And again, I use the random comment picker. Creative Grandma, she's always apologizing for the fact that she has no control over it. You know, there's no reason to have to apologize. We don't have control over who wins. When you use the random comment picker, that's the way to do it. I personally have entered dozens of giveaways. I mean, I subscribe to lots of crocheters and I enter pretty much all their giveaways unless it's something that I wouldn't really use, and then I don't enter the giveaway because I don't want to win it and take it from somebody who would actually use it. So you know, because sometimes people give away stuff that's not yarn or whatever. But I've never won a giveaway ever, and believe me, I've wanted to. I really wanted to win Crystal from Bag O' Days like 55 skeins for her 5 years of being on YouTube. I've really wanted to win some of the crochet hooks or yarn swifts or things like that, but I've never won, and I might be a little sad, but why? I did make the comment one time on somebody's, I think that a random YouTube picker does not like my name, and that might have sounded kind of snotty, and I didn't mean for it to, but I was just like frustrated because it would seem like, you know, I know that sometimes when you enter them, there's thousands of people on them, and so your odds are pretty low, but I've entered some that have like 200 or even 90 unique commenters, and I'm like, really? But it's okay. Like I said, I have enough yarn that I pull from my stash to do giveaways. Do I need to win more yarn? No. Maybe I should quit entering giveaways. Maybe. So anyway, don't have any control over it. Use the random comment picker, and that's fine. I'll leave that open until next week. Just, there's no specific comment you need to make. Just, you know, whatever comments you normally make. Even if you just want to say hi or put an emoji, you don't have to write out a sentence or anything like that. I know it's tough sometimes to come up with comments. I'm a commenter, but as you can tell, I like to talk a lot, so I talk a lot. So there you go. You guys have a great week. I will pull the winner next week when I do my video. We'll do the random comment. There's not going to be giveaway in the title. It's just going to be my regular podcast. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot Happy Mail. Oh, hang on. Pardon my back. there won't be giveaway in the title anyway. It's just going to be my regular podcast. And so I'll announce the winner next week when I do that podcast. My sweet friend Seta. Now, when I send gifts to somebody, so here's another issue. When you send somebody Happy Mail, don't expect them to open it on, especially if you don't specifically say, it's okay if you open this on camera. Because some people don't want to be outed. Some people like to be anonymous. I don't send people things, gifts or cards or anything because I want to be recognized. I send them because I genuinely love this Yarny community and I love the people I interact with. You know, if I send you something, I don't expect you to open it on camera and say, oh, look what Carla sent me, you know, or blah, blah, blah. That's not my intent. If you want to do it, I'm fine with it. And if I know that you're a YouTuber and you're okay, you know, then I'm probably going to open yours on camera too, because I like to show off the love that I feel from this community, okay? But again, you know, Z had some people who made some rude comments, I guess, about the fact that she had not, and I didn't open, well, I opened it the day I got it in the mail because I couldn't wait, but I didn't make a video the day I got it in the mail because it just wasn't a good day, and I decided to wait till I did my weekly podcast. And, you know, I did comment on Z's that if you send things with the intent that you want somebody to open it up on camera and give you kudos, that is a selfish act. You did it for yourself. You didn't do it because you love that other person. I know that Seta loves me and that she sent me this because she loves me. Now, the other thing is, I don't send people things with the expectation that they're going to return the favor and send me something. I just, that's not my intent. My intent is to give you something that makes you happy, or give you something that makes your life better, you know, or give you something that gives you a smile. That's my intent with that. So anyway, that being said, this is Happy Mail, and I'm so excited. So look at this. Oh, I've got them backwards. They're these beautiful hooks to hang on my wall, which will be hung here in my room, probably on the wall behind me where you can see them in my videos. But they are the coolest hooks, and it's CJ. Yes, those are my initials. My name is Carla Jean. Ooh. Is that an Okie name or what? And she sent me some flowering tea. I'm so excited. And of course some True Lemon. I don't put lemon in my tea, but I can't wait to try this because I've heard it's so good. I put honey in my tea. I like to sweeten mine up. And, you know, and she sent me this beautiful card. She's like, I've had this in my car since the beginning of December and I just keep forgetting to mail it to you. But here's the piece de resistance. You know, she's a big Star Trek fan. Well, guess what? She knows I'm a big Hogwarts fan. So I got a Hogwarts Zip Bag. And in it was another little bag that looks like a trunk from 9 3/4 station. Anyway, it's another little zip bag. I love it. And it has silica gel in it. No. Sorry. That was kind of silly, wasn't it? Anyway, look at this pool though. Isn't that cool? The pool is all 4 houses. It's the Hogwarts crest. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see that. Anyway, I really like it. I'm so excited. And I told her, I sent her a little, you know, note over Messenger, and I said, yeah, I love it because I've started making more charms and stuff. As you can tell, I've bought some of the D-stash boxes from Renee. I bought another one this week with charms and beads and stuff in it. And so I'm making more stitch markers because I like to do those in giveaways, and I like to send them to my friends. You know, so I do a lot of that. And I need more little bags to keep little things in because I have a lot of little findings and things like that. So I think that's it. I will see you guys next week. We will announce the 300 subscriber winner. And I will get my pattern ready for you guys. And I think that's about it. Anyway, you guys have a lovely, wonderful week. Be polite. Be nice. Love each other. We're all we got in this world. We got to love each other. God loves us and takes care of us, but his intent was for us to love one another. So, love one another as you love yourselves. If you don't love yourself, you need to learn to. All right, guys. Bye.